Daredevil Born Again, Season 1, Episode 3, The Hollow of His Hand. Hector Ayala finally has his day in court, but is justice served? Let's talk about it. All right, welcome back, you variant. So today we're talking about Daredevil and Hector Ayala's trial and everything that's going on with this. And we know with the end of the last episode, with the 2 episode premiere, we see that Matt has to protect himself from some thugs, which are known as NYPDs, you know. And this is the problem because Matt and Hector are talking in jail and they're trying to kind of figure out what they need to do to get him out of jail and what's the best course of action for this case. While they're talking about this stuff, we actually have a robbery go down in the Red Hook port that is actually brought to Mayor Fisk's attention later on, and it's something that needs to be handled. After that is established, we're in court for Hector Ayala's trial, and we see Powell, one of the officers there, that confronts Murdock, who confronted him back when he was trying to, do some witness tampering. That hey, like you can fight. I know you can fight stuff, and Matt plays stupid. It's like who is this? Who's this talking? Whatever. And basically, a couple quick jabs in verbal are exchanged, and lets him know like, hey, don't do this. Don't do this witness tampering, those stuff. Like things could happen because, granted, you can end up in jail. He's like, I won't. So after that little heated exchange, they kind of move on, and we see that they're sitting there talking on the stand. They're trying to get information, and they're talking with the officer he sit there. He lies on the stand. He straight up lies about what happened because we know what happened. We saw what happened. So after he lies about what happened, we see a random officer make a comment because we see Matt talking to Powell and kind of let him know like you were alone that night. That was it. Just you, no one else. Like just you and your partner. At the moment before, he alludes to that I have someone, and Powell knows he has someone. He knows he has Nikki Torres because he went there to protect him. So this random officer makes a comment about Nikki Torres cannot testify, and it's like, okay, he needs to be stopped. So we actually end up seeing Cherry back at a safe house with Forrest, and he has to use some substances to make sure that he's calm and whatever, and make sure that he can, get through the case. And basically, they got to escort him out to the courthouse and make sure he gets there safely before someone tries to stop him. And that's exactly what happens. Like everybody's waiting in court trying to find out what's going on, and Cherry is driving the van to get him there, and it gets pulled over by some cops. And cops are like, "Hey, step out the car, open up the back. We want to see what's going on, blah, whatever," because they're trying to get a hold of Nikki Torres. But thankfully, Cherry is a lot smarter than this. He puts Forrest and Nikki in a cab and gets them to the courthouse, so they're able to go there and set up to testify. Finally, we're gonna get the truth. Hector's going to be exonerated. Everything's going to be good to go. They put Nikki on the stand, and Nikki starts talking. He ends up looking at all the cops, and he starts lying. He's saying that he was home. He was never there. Nothing happened. It's like, what do you expect? I mean, he's a user. He is not, stable. He does what he's going to do, whatever that's going to save his butt in that process. And that's the problem that we now have. It's like, he's just going to make sure that he get his, and he doesn't care what happens to anybody else, which fine, that's his prerogative. So either way, that goes down, and that just kind of throws everybody for a loop. We cut back to Buck, who is one of Fisk's guys, who ends up going to confront the hijackers because it's kind of like gang war territory going on. They end up hijacking one of probably Fisk, one of the Fisk trucks for something, whatever Vanessa's got going on. And the process of all right, a little bit of technical difficulty, but basically Buck is confronting the hijackers, and he's trying to find out, hey, we got to stop this because it's starting to look like a gang wars. Other stuff is going on, and it's like he gives him a sum of like 1.8 million, like a check or something, like 1.8 million. Like, hey, this should cover what is owed to Victor or whatever the case may be, and let it be done. And they're kind of like, man, like, where's your boss? Like, why ain't your boss coming here talking to us? We don't want his lackeys. Like, he's not coming. Don't worry about all this stuff. This is what it is, and we'll kind of leave it at that. In the process of this, as he's exiting stage left, we see him call out to him like, "Hey, well, we don't want to deal with you anymore. We only want to talk to the boss." He's like, like you don't have to have the mayor, send his lackey to do all this stuff. He's like, I don't work for the mayor. I work for the man, which is a very significant thing. That lets he's doing work that is not in official capacity, which we already knew. But again, he's making it very relevant. He's going to do whatever the man requires as far as getting stuff done. So as that sets up, we see Fisk and Vanessa in therapy, and they're both still sitting apart from each other because they're trying to work out their differences. Problem being is that Vanessa feels like she's being punished for something that happened, and she feels left out. And as they're having this argument, he's like, "I'm not leaving you out." He's like, I got loftier goals that I'm trying to accomplish, and I need to have things done a certain way to accomplish it." That's kind of what he's getting at. But she doesn't really like, because again, she's left out of the loop. She just kind of have to sit by and watch. But she still has to be a figurehead, within the family, because again, it looks better for his, mayoral stuff if she is present. So, and remember, she was, cleared. Daredevil let her go, clear of all charges, so to speak, and not, as long as Fisk stopped, he made sure that she wasn't involved. So she's more or less clean, for lack of a better term, and she can, be the wife of the mayor. So while doing this, they end up, getting back to Hector Ayala's court case, and Murdock is just like, "Yo, we got to do something because they just tanked us hard." Remember, he was posturing beforehand about not having anything else going on, as far as any of Hector Ayala's past history brought into the case. Well, after he puts Hector Ayala on the stand and has him answering a couple questions and talking about basically his strength of character, he ends up outing him as the White Tiger. And the judge is mad. He's like, "What's going on? To my chambers now." So pretty much what ends up happening is the judge is scolding him because, again, Matt was talking earlier about how admitting that evidence into the case would be bad for his client. But because they got to, Nikki Torres some type of way, now it makes sense to add this in there to get him out of there. But of course, what this does is it's going to put a target on his back. He is now known as a vigilante, and it's a problem. So, and we already know that Fisk does not care about vigilantes in any capacity. He wants them done and gone, period. So, this is be known. He tested his strength of character. Um, they talked about, so they talked about, okay, it'll be allowed because it's already been put out there. Can't really strike it from the record. It's already out there. Can't really declare mistrial. Like, we just got to proceed with it. But he's salty about it, and that's when Hochberg threatens Matt. Like, I'm on the top of a pyramid. I got 580 days underneath me. You can't go into traffic court without one of them up your butt. Like, I'm not playing around. Like, he is salty about this because he knows this is for to do him in. So basically, we get back out there and we get more community testimony about how the White Tiger saved me from this. The White Tiger did this for me. White Tiger protected me from this. Again, showing the strength of character that Hector Ayala has. In the process of this, we also get some police reports that shows that, hey, I was taken care of by this particular, individual. Like, the White Tiger showed up and helped me subdue a criminal who attacked me with no provocation. The White Tiger did this, the White Tiger did that. So now you got actual police reports showing the White Tiger not just out to take out cops in cold blood. So again, strength of character is more prevalent, and he's not just out trying to take out cops and stuff. So if you announce you were cops and this stuff still happened, doesn't seem plausible, right? Makes sense. Eventually, after all this, he is cleared of all of the charges. So I think it was 3 charges against him. He's cleared of all 3, and he is good to go. And it's fantastic. He's celebrating, and we see Fisk watching the whole verdict kind of go down from his television. He sees that he's been cleared, and is like, "I need to talk to BB." So he tells this guy, "Hey, get BB on the line. I need to talk to her." He pretends to talk to her, and it looks like he's talking to her on the record, more or less. Phones on the desk, look like he's recording. And come on, like, sometimes juries get it wrong. Sometimes it gets wrong. Like, vigilantes do not need to be here. Anyone who hides their face is a problem. Like, he's got a big, beef with Daredevil, obviously. So again, any vigilantes that are in the process are an issue that need to be dealt with some type of way. And while we see this going on, we see that White Tiger is suiting up one more time to go out and do what he needs to do, because again, this is his thing. He can't stop being a White Tiger. Like, the amulet calls to him, so he has to put on the suit. So he proceeds to do that, and as he's getting dressed, he goes out. We see him in full costume, like, yo, he's ready to go. Bam. Somebody steps in and takes him out. One shot, airs it out, and that's it. White Tiger's done. Hector Ayala is taken out on screen where we can see and left in the street. And that person walks away towards the camera. And as we see this person has a more, let's say, silver weapon, as well as wearing a Punisher style vest. Now that begs the question: is this Frank Castle or not? Is this the Punisher? I do not think so. I do not think this is the Punisher. I do think that this is someone like Buck or somebody who is pretending to be the Punisher, or possibly even if they got Bullseye out, he's pretending to be the Punisher just to handle Wilson Fisk's dirty work and to put this thing to bed, so that way this vigilante has been dealt with one way or another. And the thing is, the same night that he is taken out, that he's taken out was the same, he just got out and he was free and then he's taken out. So definitely going to cause some problems, definitely going to get some community backlash. The community is already looking like, hey, he's probably not going to get a fair trial because of his status and who he is, and who he is around the neighborhood, as far as just being, this particular type of person. Um, hey, he definitely ended up getting taken out and not in a fair way. So he didn't even have a chance to defend himself. So with that being said, this now poses a lot of problems. What is going to happen with Matt? How is he going to react to finding out about what's going on here? What gain does this do for Fisk and strengthening his movement of getting rid of vigilantes? And how is he going to play this up? What is BB going to do with the information she just received? Is she going to freaking put that report out? She's a journalist. I wouldn't be surprised. She puts that stuff out and it just kind of gets known that this is what it is. This is how this will now be responded to. And what is Ayala's family going to do? Because we had mentioned that him and his wife live with his sister and his niece. Now, if you know anything from the comics, the sister, Ava Ayala, and the niece, Angela Del Toro, I believe, both end up assuming the mantle of the White Tiger at some point in time. So right now, you know, having Ava Ayala take over the mantle seems to make the most sense. And I do believe that when they come to ID the body, that they will receive his possessions, and then that will call to her, and she will now take on the mantle of White Tiger. That is my prediction. That is what I think is going to happen, just based off of comics. But again, I don't know. I haven't seen any of the stuff, so we'll be surprised together, depending on how they, what happens. I do think that this is going to bring Matt over the edge a bit, and he is not going to kind of let this rest. But how is he going to handle it? Whether it be going the legal route, or if he's going to dress in his all black, or if he's going to actually put on the suit and go out there and find out what's going on and find the person who did this. Kind of remains to be seen. But we definitely went off on a tangent when we did the live stream. So by all means, if you want to hear some more stuff that we talked about, definitely go check that out. It should be posted right before this. And I mean, that's all I got for this one. We're waiting until next week's episode to really kind of get into it and see what is Matt going to do. Like, what is going to be the next step for Matt Murdock in this journey. So by all means, please hit that lovely red subscribe button. Appreciate you guys watching as always. And again, I will catch you guys in the next one. Later.